Crochet's weekly tutorial. This week's stitch swatch is going to be the knit stitch. But before we get started, I told y'all last week that I had a way that I was numbering these. What I did is I grabbed some white beads from a hobby store, and then I took a very fine Sharpie and just wrote the numbers on them. This is stitch 1, that's stitch 2, stitch 3, etc. So that way when I come back to the series and I'm like, oh, I like this stitch, what was it again? You know, you can pull it up and you can say, okay, it was a fourth stitch in the series. Boom, there you go. But this stitch is going to be called today is the Tunisian knit stitch. This stitch is the go-to for me. I like it a lot. We're going to change colors, so you're going to cut off a decent tail, pull out your new color, create your loop, and you're just going to pull through and then tighten down that old one. And there you are. Now with this stitch is a little different than the ones we've been doing. Because this one requires you to go through you see the 2 vertical bars here. Okay, it's requiring you to actually go at an angle into them and then pull up a stitch. And you're going to do that. The way I do it is I go in and then I push through and pull through. And I do that all the way down. You're splitting the bars and then you're pulling a loop through them. So you can go through and you can get it up. And you're going to do this all the way down until the end. Ooh, puppy hair. And you can see how you're splitting it. You want to go through the middle, and then I do, like you can see the gap from the next one right there, right? It's right there. So take it and you just angle. There's other ways you can do this. This just seems very simple to me, is you just push yourself through, okay? And of course, we're building up on the last stitch we just did, which was the Tunisian full stitch. It's going to be a little off-centered at first until we can get all 20 stitches. And we're going to have to count this very first row just because of what we're working on. We're working on another stitch. Because I want this to be kind of continuous and you can have it hanging around on your wall. So let's go ahead and count our stitches real quick because we should be at 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're at 19. So you got that last whole stitch. Just remember, drop down, push through, and pull through. Now we're at our 20. You're going to loop around 1 and chain 1. Now we're going to go pull back. Pull through 2. And we're going to do this all the way down. It does give you a knitted look. Go here, we need to pull that down just a little bit. Okay. Now, you see the bars. Now you can actually see your bars. So you're going to go through the middle, and then you're going to shoot through, and then there you go. See? Now you're going to go split the middle bars, and then into the gap. Pull one out, and then grab your yarn and pull up. And you're going to do this all the way down again, okay? Sorry about the shaky. I just hit something. And you're going to do this all the way down again. And you can bend your work. If you find it, just bend your work. Just get it in there, bend to work. Because none of your work's going to be really stiff enough to where you're not going to be able to bend it. And you can see those knit stitches starting to come up and how it looks like it's knit. And then of course the last stitch, drop your needle even with the row you just did, and fold, push through, wrap, and pull through. Chain 1, and pull through 2. Remember to constantly pull through 2 on your return pass. See, I pulled through, it just slipped right on through. Sometimes that'll happen, and you'll catch it because you'll feel it. All right, now we're going to do that again. That's exact. This is it. This is the stitch. You're going to split those bars and go in. You're just going to do this all the way down again. And you're going to start seeing, like I said, that knit stitch coming up. See what I'm talking about right here? That knit stitch is just coming up, and it has a little bit of give, but we'll play with that a little bit more when we get towards the end. And you can see what I'm talking about. We got 2 more rows that we're going to do together, and then you're going to finish off the remaining 5, and we'll meet up at the end and we'll talk about the stitch again. But you can see how I just bend the work, because it doesn't matter. Now drop down, fold over, push through, grab, loop, pull, chain 1, pull through 2. I'm going to constantly pull through 2 again. Our return pass is always pulled through 2 unless the stitch changes. There's other types of stitches that I'm not going to throw at y'all yet, because the series is for beginners, for you guys to learn how to do the stitches and get comfortable with doing them and handling the yarn, and handling all the loops on your needle, because it can, like I said, it can be daunting at first. At first it was daunting to me, and I didn't know how to handle it. And I watched a few YouTube videos. Of course, it wasn't a lot back there 8 years ago, but now there is. And a lot of the YouTubers are doing more advanced stitches. Yeah, they have their tutorials, but they just do 2, 3, 4 stitches with you guys, and then they just go full speed ahead and not do it slow, so you can continuously watch, and you can understand the stitch. All right, now we're going to split again. We're splitting the bars and pulling through. That's all we're doing. We're almost at the end. And what do we do at the end? Drop down, fold, push through, yarn over, and pull through. And chain 1. Now we pull through 2. And we do this all the way down again. Understand the stitch a little bit more if I'm not explaining it thoroughly. I'm explaining it to you kind of pretty much how I explained it to my husband when he was trying to learn Tunisian. He picked it up, but Tunisian is just not his thing. All right, now there's the bars. Put it in, split it, put your needle through, yarn over. It's automatically going to be all over, so, and then you pull up. And you're going to do that all the way around again. This stitch is actually really easy. All these stitches are easy to do in the round. I haven't done the Tunisian full stitch in the round. And that's something we'll be talking about later on too, what the round is and how to handle it and how to do stuff in the round. Because we're going to do a beanie tutorial, you know. But that's going to come here in a little while, later on down the line. All right, we're almost at the last row, or last stitch, I mean. Drop down, fold over, push through, loop over, pull through, loop over, so you can chain one. Now you just pull over and do that until, and pull through two. And when this 5th row is done, when you have one loop left, all right, as you can see, that's the knit stitch. I want you to continue with 5 more rows, and then we'll meet up at the end, okay? All right, we're just finishing up the last few stitches on the Tunisian knit stitch swatch. Now don't worry about this little bump out, because that's because the way the last stitches we were doing with the full stitches kind of offsetting things. But we still have our 20, so I'm not worried about it. As long as you're not worried about it, I'm not. But you can check this out. Look at that. I mean, the knit stitch has give. A little bit more this vertical, horizontal. Decent amount vertical. And like I said, it's a great stitch. It looks fantastic. It looks knitted. And it's a pretty warm fabric, let me tell you. But anyway, if you want to continue practicing, go ahead. If you could, like and subscribe. It'll help me out greatly. Get these videos out there more. Let newer Tunisian crocheters also learn and know that there's somebody out there that's teaching for newbies. As well as it'll help me bring more videos to you guys. Again, please like and subscribe. And until I see you on next time, keep stitching.